perfection is not realistic. You will go crazy trying to seek perfection. So just do your absolute best and give it your all and do it from the heart, whatever you're doing. That's my advice to myself, and that's my advice to y'all. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time. It'll get better the more times I do this. It'll get easier. I'll start enjoying it. It'll be better the more I do it. It's the same as going to the gym in my mind. The more I go to the gym, the more I like it. I have not been to the gym this year, so I need to go back. Woo. Hey y'all, it's your girl Mariah LaRue, and you are listening to Becoming Mariah, the podcast. This is a personal journal where I share my journey of becoming an artist, becoming a grown woman, becoming the best version of myself. And this is for those who are on that journey of becoming as well. Whether you are becoming an adult, becoming a 5-star Michelin chef, I don't know. Whatever you're becoming, welcome. This is for all of us who struggle with the fear of being seen, who struggle with fear of rejection, fear of failure, and you are just trying to push through because you know you have a vision, you know you have a gift, you know you have something powerful inside of you that is meant to be shared with the world. So do I. We gonna do it scared together. Okay? So, speaking of doing it scared, woo! This Sunday, 7:30 p.m., I will be going live for the first time doing the LaRue Lounge Show. The LaRue Lounge is a live, honestly, it's kind of like a karaoke jam session. I'm going to be singing, I'm going to be telling stories, I'm going to be cutting up with y'all, and it's just going to be a good time, a good woosah, just to close out the weekend and get us ready for the work week. It's not going to be like Becoming Mariah. Becoming Mariah is more personal, more sobering, more healing oriented. LaRue Lounge is all about having a good time. Okay? So we're going to have a good time. Speaking of doing it scared, I think I mentioned this in my first Becoming Mariah video, but I'm 31. I've wanted to be a singer my entire life since childhood. Been terrified to my entire life since childhood. I was one of the kids who was bullied growing up. I went to a private school that goes from nursery all the way to 12th grade. And I went there from nursery all the way to 8th grade. Same teachers, same students, same bullies all those years, right? So when you grow up like that, you learn that being seen is dangerous. You learn that celebration can quickly turn into ridicule. So it's safer to be hidden. It's safer not to try. It's safer to be quiet. Then the adults at the time rewarded you for being the quiet one, the shy one, the whatever, because you weren't getting on their nerves. So you learn, okay, being myself is dangerous. Don't do that. Be quiet, be shy, be to yourself. That's safe. So that's what I did. And now I'm fighting through my nervous system because my nervous system has adjusted to that. I have to fight through my nervous system whenever I want to sing, whenever I want to speak my voice. I have to always fight through that. That's just my life. This time I'm actually going to try to do it for real, for real. And I'm getting help from someone that I really respect. So I'm nervous and excited about that. My main thing though is I know God gave me this gift of singing. Music is all I think about, sun up to sundown. I wake up with a song, I lay down with a song. I know that I'm meant to create, I'm meant to be a voice I'm meant to be an artist. So now I'm just gonna walk in it, which is scary. But I'm gonna do it anyway because if I don't, I'm more afraid of never feeling fulfilled in that area than I am of failing in that area, if that makes sense. I can't die knowing that I kept my mouth shut my whole life, whether that's talking and sharing my truth or singing and singing my truth. I cannot stay silent anymore. So here we are. And one of the things that was a block for me is I wasn't one of those kids like you see other artists in interviews where they're like, "Oh, when did you first know that you had a voice?" Or, when did your parents first know that you had a voice and put you into classes or pushed you to sing or whatever, whatever. I've never had that experience. My mom had that experience. She grew up singing. She was a minister, like a psalmist or frontline worshiper, whatever you want to call it, leading the choir most of my childhood. She just stopped or retired when I became an adult. So, yeah, all of my life, my mom was a minister in our church, like singing, and was well respected, well admired, all of the things. I had her on such a huge pedestal when it came to that. And it was always like a little dream of mine to lead worship with her one day. Unfortunately, that won't ever happen because our former pastor has moved on. But there is no church, no choir to sing with anymore. So that dream is no longer, which is fine with me because I feel more connected to R&B and neo soul. I still sing in the style of gospel sometimes. I'm just churchy like that. Can't help it. But growing up and seeing my mom in that way, I always hoped like, oh, well, and I remember my grandfather saying or heard she said it or my grandfather said it, one of them said it, that they had put her into like a music school, like an after school program when she was younger. And they used to say, hey, come sing for your grandma, come sing, around the family functions and stuff. And apparently she hated that. She did not like being called on the spot to sing. And a lot of times when they were asking her to sing, they were asking her to sing like gospel, praise and worship. And to her, as a young person, as a child and a young person, it was weird them asking her to do that because worship was very personal to her. So she's like, you're asking me to perform worship. You know what I'm saying? Like, she didn't like it. And when I came along, she didn't do any of that. Most of the time, our conversation around music and singing and performing stemmed from me inquiring from her. It wasn't the other way around of like, you should sing this. You sound like it was, I didn't have any kind of guidance as far as learning to sing, which is why I still struggle finding my own voice because I learned how to sing by mimicking. My first music teacher was Lauryn Hill. My mom had a Lauryn Hill CD that I played out. First, no, it was a cassette because we had a Walkman. And then when CDs came around, she bought the CD and I ran out the CD. I think I played it till it skipped. So yeah, I learned by mimicking other artists. And now I'm discovering my own voice. There was times when I was young and I wanted my mom to teach me how to sing. I remember I was in high school. I joined a choir and I would ask to practice for her sometimes. And when you hear me talk about my mom or my family and things that I needed and didn't get, you're going to hear me talk from a place of understanding because we've had detailed conversations about these things. However, understanding that my mom was in survival mode, dealing with her own stuff, with being a single mother and all the things, right? She did her absolute best and she did a phenomenal job, but certain things still got slipped through the cracks. When you're in survival mode and you have a child, survival mode, I don't really have space for luxuries and feeding into your interest is a luxury. As long as you're fed, bathed, dressed, teeth brushed, homework is done, being well behaved, and going to church on Sundays, all the boxes are checked as far as caring for this. And all of my needs are met. I never needed for anything. So let's start there. However, the fact that I was bullied largely slipped through the cracks. My interest in music slipped through the cracks. And possibly me having ADHD slipped through the cracks. You know what I mean? Like, so those things, it just happens. I'm sure a lot of you, whether you are a mother or a product of, or a child of a single mother, you know what I'm talking about. Your needs are met, but some things just slip through the cracks. And it's not necessarily to say that your parent was a bad parent. The woman had her hands full. Single mother. Okay? It's very hard. Respect to all of the single mothers. That is hard. I know by watching. It's hard. And I know by experiencing as a child of a single mother. It's hard. So, with that being said, in some ways, not having that part of me nurtured did hurt. I felt unseen and ignored in some ways in that area. Now that I'm an adult and I've been able to talk to my mom about all of this and I've expressed my interest in music now, she's like all for it, super supportive and giving me critique and all the things that I've been wanting. But I needed it earlier. And my dad is another story. My dad, he's also musically talented. He could sing, he could play the drums, he could play piano, and I think the bass by ear. He didn't learn to read music, but he was off dealing with the ups and downs of addiction. Now he's great. But again, I slipped through the cracks during his struggle with addiction, during that period of his life. So now I'm doing the work of reparenting myself and nurturing myself and giving myself the things that I wanted as a child from my parents. And it's a beautiful experience. It's also a hurtful experience. Like, I've been grieving a lot as far as the life I wish I had, the childhood that I wish I had, or where I might be had I had early on encouragement or early on intervention as far as the bullying or whatever, right? It's a whole process. Keeping in mind the reality of my mother and my father's lives as well. They were human beings, just like I'm a human being trying to figure this out. And it's hard. It's very hard. So now I'm like, okay, I'm still young. I'm 31. I'm going to go ahead and do this thing. I ain't trying to be Beyonce. I want to have a solid community of people who love music like I love music. And yeah, of course, I want to make money. I want to sustain my life off of music. I do not want to work a 9 to 5 anymore. I want to sing, and that's it. But I don't need millions and millions of fans to live a good life off of music. I'm dreaming, but I'm dreaming realistically and practically. And I know it's going to take time for me to build my audience and my community through Becoming Mariah and LaRue Lounge. It's going to take time to get comfortable with doing all of this in the first place. The name of the game for me is patience and consistency. Personally, I feel like consistency is going to be the most difficult part for me. But I know that this is what I need to do in order to build my community. I'm in the process of writing music, but I want to have people there already to listen to it once it's ready. This is my way of introducing myself to everybody. This is my way of finding my tribe. This is my way of finding my kinfolk and the like-minded people who are also becoming. I don't have it all together. I'm figuring it out as I go. I am in the process of becoming. And I want to have a community who sees me from the beginning and can see me like 10 years from now and be like, you remember when she was in her car doing videos and da 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 with the phone shaking and shit? Do you remember? Why is my phone shaking? What is going on? Baltimore City streets, child. But yeah, I want to build a community that I can grow with. I'm not coming up in here like I'm the guru with all the answers. It's called Becoming Mariah. Mariah is not my government name. Mariah LaRue is my stage name. And I'm calling this podcast Becoming Mariah because this is a process of becoming for me. Just come out of myself and the who I know myself to be based off of the survival I've been going through and coming into my real self, my real identity, who I really am as an artist, as a human, who I really am outside of the trauma is a fearless boss singing fool. Okay. That is who I am, trauma free. Now, with the trauma, I'm still all of those things. It's just harder for me to do it. That's the point. I'm so tired of seeing these perfect people on social media. Like, I'm not saying I'm going to show all my business and act a mess, but I mean, I'm overseeing the fake, I have it all together type shit. You don't. You really don't. And that's okay. Let these people grow with you, see you, be real. It's such a more fulfilling fan experience for me when I see the real. You know what I mean? Like, it's just different. And that doesn't mean you have to tell all of your business, because I'm not going to tell all of my business. Some parts of your life you should protect, and some parts of your life should be sacred. But being real about being scared, about doing it, being real about before you perform and you are nervous as hell. It doesn't matter how many times you perform your life, you still get nervous. Being real about all of that. That's why I love Fantasia, because she'll talk about that. She talks about that in different interviews. So, yeah, this is what the whole becoming thing is about. Like, watch me do this thing. And don't just sit back and watch me do this thing. Do your own thing. Let's do our things together, okay? Like, teamwork makes the dream work, okay? And kinfolk won't make it happen. You are kinfolk. We are kinfolk if you're unaware. We fam. You my cousin for real. So, what up, kinfolk? Yeah, y'all. This is just a journey for me, a big journey. And I'm excited and I'm scared. I'm excited because it's becoming easier for me to perform in public and to do these kinds of videos and stuff. I'm scared because, people talk about fear of failure, but fear of success is also a thing. Like, it's also a thing. Like, now you got to keep it up. Keeping it up, having to keep it up, that kind of a pressure is. Before I go, I want to tell y'all a story of something that happened to me 2 weekends ago. So I was talking to my mom about the whole childhood and the music of it all, right? And it boiled down to this fear of being seen and fear of, because I went through my life unseen for so long. And when I was seen, it was danger, bullying, whatever, rejection, whatever. So now that I am going to be seen and I'm allowing myself to be seen, even though I made up in my mind that this is safe and I can do this and it's in my power and it's in my talent and in my wheelhouse to do, my nervous system is still in survival mode. So the other day I went to karaoke with my friends. I usually have a great time, but this time I was like, I'm not going to water down my singing. I usually water down my singing out of fear of messing up. So I'll sing it exactly how the record sings it, just in my own voice, because I'm scared of screwing up. This time I said I'm not going to do that. I sung my little heart out. I did all my runs. I did my thing, right? Y'all, by the end of the song, my nervous system, I felt like literally, I didn't know what to feel. Okay, first of all, while I'm singing, I'm getting to the end of the song, and you would think, oh, the worst of it is over. It's almost over. No, As soon as I get close to the end of the song, my hands start shaking like this with the mic in my hand. My knees are shaking the same way, like a leaf, okay? Then I finished the song and my friend Michael was there. So I think he could tell I was nervous. He sees my face or he sees something and he just immediately grabs me into like a celebratory hug as soon as I finish the song. And as I'm hugging him, I'm like laughing hysterically. I don't know why I'm laughing hysterically, but I am. And while I'm laughing, I feel like I'm going to throw up. It's like I'm laughing, but I'm like, I'm like, "Ooh." So I'm like, hey, we need to go outside. I need to take a breather. We went outside. And then as soon as we go outside, I just start bawling. I don't feel like I gotta throw up anymore. I just start bawling. And I realize my body is reacting as if I've been under attack. Like my body is acting like I survived a near death experience. And to my body, I did. Anytime had eyeballs on me, that's a sign of danger, historically. So my body freaked the hell out. But at the same time, I was so proud of myself for pushing through the shakes of it all and singing the song my way and in my style. I was so proud of myself. I wanted to go back in and do another song, but my body couldn't take it. Like I needed to go to bed. I needed to lay down. Oh, child. I couldn't come out of that feeling of just, and I'm really hoping that this isn't going to be a thing every time I want to sing somewhere. We're going to keep going to karaoke and we're going to do some LaRue Lounge lives and we're going to keep doing all of the things until it starts to feel like second nature. Because when I'm alone, music is second nature. So there's no reason why music can't still be second nature in front of other people, right? So yeah, we're doing baby steps. So this weekend, Friday, I'm actually having karaoke night at my house with my friends. And then Sunday is the first official live LaRue Lounge. But to keep it a buck, I'm scared. Whole time, I might get on there and be talking to myself like I'm talking to myself now. Nevertheless, it's still nerve-wracking. It's still scary. And I think my fear comes from wanting to do well. Part of my fear comes from wanting to do well and wanting to do it right. I want things to sound right. I want it to look right. I have to be careful with that whole seeking perfection thing, though, because that was one of the defense mechanisms that I developed when I was going through trauma. You can't criticize something that's perfect. Perfection is not realistic. You will go crazy trying to seek perfection. So just do your absolute best and give it your all and do it from the heart, whatever you're doing. That's my advice to myself and that's my advice to y'all. It doesn't have to be perfect the first time. It'll get better the more times I do this. It'll get easier. I'll start enjoying it. It'll be better the more I do it. It's the same as going to the gym in my mind. The more I go to the gym, the more I like it. That means that I have not been to the gym this year. So I need to go back. Woo. Now that I say it out loud, I think it's the same thing with the gym. Like for me, I know I would go to the gym, work out, and then the next day I'm like sore as hell. I'm like, oh, and it hurts so bad. But at the same time, it feels good because I'm like, I did something, right? But at the same time, it hurts so bad, I don't never want to come back. So that's why I haven't been to the gym this year. And I don't want that same kind of thing to happen in the YouTube space where it's like, whoo, I did it. I don't never want to do that again. I say that to say I have done one Becoming Mariah episode that's up. It's similar to this, and I'm in the car. And I have done another LaRue Lounge already. That one was a test live, though. So nobody was on that one. I don't know if anybody's going to be on this one either. We'll see. But it was great. And then I was like, never again. But if I want what I say I want, I have to do the uncomfortable things. So if you want abs you have to work out. If you want a music career, you gotta get comfortable singing in front of people. This lady in front of me just handed a homeless man a bag of, what do they call the great cookies? The mall cookies. Well, that's a fascinating donation choice. But them cookies are fire. I know that brighten his day. I'm trying to get home, see my camera dropping. All right, look, that's my cue that it's time to go. So thank you for listening or watching or what have you. This has been the Becoming Mariah podcast. I shared a little bit today about my becoming process. I'm becoming a YouTuber. So we'll see how that goes. I'll keep you posted. I'll let you know when I go live. I'm going to try to go, I want to go live regularly. I have to go live regularly in order to build my platform, in order to build my community. So I'm going to do that. I also need to start doing these Become Mariah videos regularly. So I'm going to do that as well. Deep breaths, one step at a time, one moment at a time. We got this. Shaky camera and all. Baltimore potholes and all. We got this. So see you, kinfolk. Remember, we are in this together. We are all in our own process of becoming. And the sky's the limit. I see you at the top. Bye.